Have you ever seen someone so silent that people think he'll never make it? But one day, that same silence becomes the reason the whole world listens? This is the story of Henry, a quiet boy who proved that even the softest voice can shake the loudest rooms. Henry lived in a small town surrounded by endless fields and quiet roads. He was 14, young in age but old in heart, soft-spoken, thoughtful, silent. Too silent for a world that worships noise. People misunderstood him. Teachers, students, even strangers. "Why don't you talk? Are you scared? You'll never become anything." Every word pierced him. Every laugh left a scar. At school, kids mocked him openly, but Henry never responded. He carried his pain quietly. Every afternoon, he walked home, sat beneath the big oak tree in his backyard, and stared at the sky, wondering why the world never gave boys like him a chance. One evening, when Henry's eyes were filled with tears, his father, William, sat beside him and said something he would never forget. "Son, the world believes noise equals strength, but remember this, even the loudest thunder can't grow a tree. Silence does. Silence grows roots. Silence builds strength. Silence creates wisdom." Henry didn't fully understand, but those words resonated deeply within his soul. A week later, the school announced a speech competition. The winner would earn a scholarship to a top city school, enjoying better teachers and bigger dreams. Henry wanted to try, but when he told his classmates, they burst into laughter. "You? A speech competition? You can't even say your name loudly." Those words broke something in him, and at the same time, awakened something else. That night, sitting under the oak tree, Henry whispered to himself, "I may be silent, but I am not weak." That was his turning point. From that day, he practiced in secret. While the world slept, Henry stood in front of the mirror and rehearsed his speech. Slowly, carefully, he practiced every pause, every breath, every moment of silence. He watched great speakers. He learned how powerful a quiet voice could be when it carried truth. No one knew, no one believed in him, but he believed in himself, quietly, silently, fiercely. The day of the competition arrived. The auditorium was filled with loud cheers and excited voices. But backstage, Henry stood alone, gripping his notes, his heart pounding, yet his eyes were steady. When his name was called, there was no applause, no anticipation, just silence. He stepped onto the stage, and the entire room went quiet. Henry took a breath, a deep, brave breath, and said, "They called me silent. They said I cannot speak, but silence is not my weakness. Silence is where I listened. Silence is where I learned. Silence is where I built myself. And today, I speak, not to make noise, but to make a difference." The room froze. You could hear the air itself listening. Henry spoke with honesty, with heart, with truth. Every pause he took felt like a message. Every silence felt like strength. When he finished, for a moment, there was nothing. No sound, no whisper, just awe. And then, the entire hall rose to its feet. A standing ovation like never before. Henry won the competition. But more importantly, he won respect. He won hearts. He won himself. He proved something powerful. You don't need to shout to be heard. Sometimes, silence is the loudest voice in the world. Years later, Henry became a motivational speaker, traveling across the country, and whenever people asked him, "What was the secret of your success?" he smiled and said, "Silence. It taught me what noise never could." And before you scroll, listen carefully. In a world where everyone is trying to speak louder, don't be afraid of your quiet moments. When you feel lost, sit in your silence. When you prepare for your dream, prepare in silence. Because when your moment arrives, your silence will rise like a storm no one can stop. Sometimes, silence isn't empty. It is full of answers. If this story inspired you, support the channel, like this video, and subscribe to Pocket Philosophy. Join our journey of wisdom and growth. Thank you.